welcome back to my channel. So, episode 3 of The Last of Us officially came out. It's called A Long Time, and it was the Bill and Frank storyline. So before we start, there's going to be spoilers for the episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, like the video and then come back later and watch my review. So first, I just want to say, yes, I'm on my phone because my computer kind of messed up. I did mention it in the last video where I was like, maybe it works now. No, it doesn't work anymore. So I'm working on getting it fixed. So until then, we're going to be on my phone doing these reviews. And we're here with my K-pop wall. So how exciting. K-pop and The Last of Us. A good combination. So the episode starts like right away, right after episode 2. You know, Tess just died. So Joel is doing like a grave. Not digging. He's making it like a grave for her, like with stones that he finds in a nearby lake. And him and Ellie are there, and she's kind of like, you can't blame me for this because you weren't forced to do this mission, so you can't put her death on me. And I kind of like that because you can kind of sense that there's like a high dislike for Ellie, and it's because of Tess's death that Joel is affected by it. So I thought it was interesting that they did that because I feel like Ellie doesn't really express that in the video game. Nor Joel, but you can kind of see like that disdain, that dislike for each other, especially in that moment. So it was good that they added that, and I really liked it. Next, you see them heading out to Bill and Frank's little town. It was interesting because, well, like, one, they're walking and they're talking, usually how it is in the video game, which is so funny. Even before the show came out, I was like, there's gonna be a lot of walking and a lot of talking, like, in this show, just naturally, because that's the whole game. You literally walk and talk as Joel and Ellie the whole time, and so I was like, that's just gonna be funny. It's just them walking and talking. But it was interesting that they kind of blended it in the sense, I think I'm also, like, hopping, but you know, we do get like some dialogue and stuff. And I also like the little reference to the video games where you go into like a town and then Jill stocks up on stuff. Usually in the game it's like, oh, it's just abandoned stuff, but then Joel's like, there's nothing here, this is just where he stashes things, which I thought that was a funny and nice reference. Then the next scene is that we see Ellie go down into like a basement or like a bunker, and then she sees an infected, and I didn't think that she was actually gonna kill it, but she like deadass just goes to it, and I was like, oh, okay, Ellie, yeah, okay, do that, sure. I wasn't expecting it, so I was like, oh, okay, sure, I'll take it though. Which I was shocked because I feel like, I mean, at least, I guess it makes sense in the sense that she kills an infected so early on. I mean, she kind of does in the game, right? Like when she's with Joel. Or like when she's helping Joel whenever they run into an infected. It's just that the first human person, you know, that she gets, that is I think is going to have more of a momentum and a more impact. So until then, for now we see that. And I thought it was interesting because they did tease that shot of the infected, but I didn't think it was going to happen like that early. But it was like a cool scene to see, like just in general, just like her looking at an infected. And it's kind of crazy because we kind of see her look at it, but it's like she kind of admires it in the way that she knows like this is never gonna happen to me, but she wonders how and why it happened to them. And you see her cut the like forehead, and then you could see like the inside, and it was so gross. Like, I don't know what it is, it's just nasty. It's just like fungus like growing all around. That was an interesting scene to see. And then more walking and talking we see them do. Joel's still not giving Ellie a gun. I know they're trying to build that up. They're building it up to that point in the or at least in the game when he finally entrusts her with a gun. So they're really building it up, and I can see that like with every episode we see her asking for a gun and she still doesn't get one. So we can't wait for that, especially if they do adapt that one scene where she saves Joel's life. I wonder I don't know if it's gonna be like accurate, but if it is, I wonder how that's gonna play out in the live action. Then we're back to them walking and talking, like I just said. And then we kind of see like the airplane crash. I know everybody was going crazy over it because it was like, that was really the first picture that they showed us in terms of like The Last of Us content, was them looking at the airplane crash. And then Ellie's like, this is so cool, like I wish I would have gotten in one. And Joel's like, it wasn't that great. And then she's like, but still. And he's like, well, trust me, I don't think they were excited being in there. And they also run into like the whole mass graves and stuff, which I thought was kind of freaky. In the game, like, you do see like dead bodies, but they're like usually scattered. You don't really see like a lot of them until we reach the bandit like place. So it was interesting to hear that they just like Fedra just killed everybody. Like, as it's sad, and it's kind of like but it happens, so it's kind of scary, like seeing that, and also like just seeing, like, you also see the people that it happened to. And it was actually, that was a really interesting transition. And it sucks because you see like the baby cloth, and then or you see the cloth and you're like, oh, it's for a child, but no, it's actually a newborn baby. And you're like, Pedro killed a newborn baby. Yes, because they're crazy. I know it's like you don't really show those things, but like they hint at him, and it happened. And then it transitions to Bill's town, which I'm gonna be on. I love that whole sequence. Once he sees Pedro take like those people away, he's like, "This is my town," And then you just see that whole thing of him going crazy. I was like, oh my god! I was like, I want to live with Bill in an apocalypse. Like, it was so cool that like it was just like a whole montage of him just gathering stuff. He literally raided a Home Depot, which I'm surprised was full of things. Like, you would think that it wasn't, but it was. And then like he stole like tubs and tubs of gas, and then he was just making his own crops and stuff, and like carrots. And then there was like a pig. I was like, where did he get that pig from? Like, I was literally like, what the heck? But it was such a fun, like, cool sequence. I was like, this is Bill. Like, I don't know if you guys have played the game, then it was like, this is Bill. This is so cool. And then like I was having like a blast. Like, I was having such a fun time. I'm like live tweeting it too. So if you guys want to watch read my live tweets, I live tweet on Twitter. My Twitter's linked down below. Then we like quickly get to Frank. So Frank gets like stuck in like a hole in one of Bill's traps. Oh my god, once I saw the Bill trap sequence, I was like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like, oh, that was me. I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's a reference to the game. So I thought that was so cool to see that. I don't know, everything about Bill I just loved. And it sucks it was just for one episode, but I wish he could have lived longer. But we'll talk about that in a second. We get to meet Frank, and then right away, like, obviously Bill's like schizophrenic, and he just doesn't trust people. So it is interesting that Bill really accepted him as quickly as he did. But I guess like that Frank really has like that charm to him too as well. So I was like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go down. And you know what? I will say it was odd to kind of see their relationship kind of happen so quickly. Like, it was only like a matter of like 2 or 3 scenes. Like, Bill accepts him in quickly, and then Bill makes him food, and then he lets him shower, and then they eat together, and it's like awkward. It's like how it's so awkward because Bill's like, what do I do with this guy, And then Frank is like, I'm gonna be honest, I was like, Frank is like he's such a himbo, but he doesn't look like one, but he is. He like exudes that himbo-ness to him, and I really love that about him. Like, I was like starting to fall in love with Frank so quickly. I could see why Bill also was falling in love with him quickly, And so like that scene where they were both playing piano, I thought it was so cute because like Frank was trying his best because he was like so in love with that piano that Bill had, and then you just see Bill's like, hey, no. And then Bill plays it on his own. And then you could see like Bill has like a deep appreciation for that song. And then Frank also sees it too. And then he's like, so who's the girl? And then Bill's like, there's no girl. And then they kissed. I was literally like, oh my god, they kissed. I was like, oh, like I literally like, I like went like that. I was like, oh, like I was shocked, like I was like, oh my god, they're kissing. I was like, oh my, it was crazy. And then like it just happened quickly. And then Frank was like, you stink, go take a shower. And then they banged. I was like, whoa, I forgot I was watching an HBO show for a second. I was like, whoa, this is too much for me. But like, I mean, obviously they didn't like show it, but they were like, Frank is like, I'm gonna take it slow, don't worry, I got you. And I was like, what am I watching right now? Like, I was like, I can't watch this. But I don't know. I mean, I loved it because it's like, they're like so cute. I feel like Bill has no idea what he's doing, and then like, just Frank is like, slowly falling in love with him. And I was like, oh my god, they were so cute. And then I liked how we kind of seen them like throughout the years, up until the point of, what year is it? 2023? Up until 2023, so 2003, 2004, whenever they met, around there, So we're like 2003, then we're like 2013, and then we're 10 years. Oh my god. Okay, anyways. So yeah, throughout that time span, I like that we got to see them like them and their like relationship grow. So then there's like another time jump, and they're like a little bit older. And then Frank is like, I met someone through the radio, and Bill's like, no, you didn't. And then we see Tess and Joel. Oh my god, it was so nice seeing Tess and Joel. You know, they look younger, they look more beautiful. I think this is like when they were just starting to get together. And you know, it's kind of crazy. Someone did mention it, and I saw a tweet where someone was like, so Joel and Tess were together for like 16 years. 16 years. And then it just makes the second episode like hurt 10 times worse that they were together for like the whole time. And Tess dies. That was like really, I was like devastated. My heart broke once I heard that. And it's so crazy that you can see how they had like such a strong relationship with Bill and Frank during during those years as well. So I thought it was interesting that we also got to see that. It's also nice to see Joel younger. I don't know. Like, obviously, Pedro Pascal looks so good, like, with the gray hair and everything. But then once you see him younger, it's like, I like it. So there's also that. And then also Tess, she looks so beautiful. Like, you know, she looks so happy and youthful. And then she made a friend with Frank. Like, I thought that was so cute, their little relationship. And I wish we could have seen more, but we didn't. And it's okay. I really like that scene where Frank, actually that scene was so funny. When Frank was like, I traded some seeds for a gun. And then Bill's like, what gun? And he's like, oh, it's just a small one, don't worry, baby. And then like they kiss, and it's just a cute little scene where they're like, we have strawberries, like, oh, they have a little garden together. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Oh, and then there's another time jump where it's like now in 2023, because the other one was like 2007, I think. Yeah, in 2023, and then both Bill and Frank are older, like they are like old. And you know, I didn't think they were gonna do that, because at first I was like, wait, Frank looks old, and then I was like, wait, Bill looks old, and I was like, what the heck? Like, I was like, wow. I was like, oh shoot, because I don't know if you guys read leaks, but there was leaks that came out, and they were wrong, by the way, or for the most part they were wrong, but they were also kind of right. So the leaks were that Bill and Frank died from a disease. I don't want to say what, because it's very homophobic in the way that those leaks came out. So a lot of people were angry, but then someone who had seen the episode before, they were like, that's wrong. Like, that's not what happens. So everybody was like, okay, cool. But it was like, I don't know, that Reddit user was just all wrong. So if you heard those leaks, they're wrong. They're wrong. And I don't even want to talk about them. But yeah, so I was like, so once I saw that they were old, I was like, oh no, like some of those leaks could be right. And I got scared. But you know, I found it so cute that like even then Bill was still like helping out with Frank because Frank couldn't walk. I think someone I follow said that he had Parkinson's, and you know, you can't really go to a doctor. They can't do anything about it because they're living in an apocalypse, you know. Like, if it was like regular normal times, then yeah, maybe Bill could have taken Frank to a hospital. They could have given him meds, or could have done something, but because it's an apocalypse and there's no doctors, you can't even do anything. So I will say that, like, it was nice to see that Bill did help him all the way through, and you know, and Frank was still able to paint and still do his things and stuff, and I thought that was nice. And it was also kind of heartbreaking because I was like, no, they're getting old. And then like it fast forwards to like the next morning where Frank's like, yeah, today's my last day. And then Bill's like, what? When I heard that, I was like, actually, like, it's so crazy. Like, this episode was only like an hour and a half. It's a long episode, by the way, but it was like, it's kind of crazy because it was an hour and a half, and it made you like feel for those characters. Like, I love when movies or like TV shows are able to do that, where you feel like a connection within characters and within a short amount of time. And like, I did cry when Frank was like, this is what you're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do, and that's it. Dude, when Bill and Frank got married, I was like in tears. I was like, no, they got married for their last day together. It was so sad. Like, it was so happy, but I was so sad. And then when they had their last dinner together, and then Bill made the exact same dinner that he made him the first time they met, and it was just, oh, so heartbreaking. And then the freaking score, oh my gosh, they used the score that they use in the video game when Ellie and Joel see the giraffes, like that kind of scene. I think it's called like, dude, oh, I forgot the score name, but it's called something like loss of innocence. I'm not sure, but some I don't know, something, loss of something. But it's just like once I heard it, I started crying. Oh, I'm so emotional right now too. I'm gonna start crying. But yeah, it just made me sad and like so emotional. I was like, how is this happening? I was like, I just met Bill and Frank today. Like, it wasn't like we've seen like the relationship for like a whole season or like a couple episodes. It was like one episode. And it just made me feel for them, like you get to understand who they are as characters, and like you actually care for them in the relationship. And you know, I will say it was nice that we were able to watch these two characters fall in love and grow old together, and are able to pass away together at their old age. Because like we are like in the show, we're in a zombie apocalypse basically, and that's rare, having characters grow old and die together. It's not often that happens, so it was nice to see that. And it actually made me appreciate the episode more once I realized that like you can't get that kind of stuff in those certain conditions. So I thought it was really nice that was able to happen, especially with those two characters. And that was the end of their story, and it was really sad, but it was really sweet, and I really liked it. Yeah, it does deviate from the video game, where we do meet Bill, and him and Frank were a thing, but then Frank leaves him, and then Frank gets infected. That's the video game. But here, it was just written so beautifully, and I think Craig Mazin, one of the showrunners, he wrote the episode. He didn't direct it, but he wrote the episode, and it was just amazing piece of work, like, in terms of the Bill and Frank storyline. Like, good job, Craig. It was great. But yeah, so then Bill and Ellie make it to the town, and they're like, where is he? And then Ellie finds out from a note that they essentially died together. So we don't get that that banter between Bill and Ellie, which is kind of sad, but I kind of like what they did instead in the show. 'Cause yeah, it is better that instead of like, I mean, it would have been funny, yeah, but I like what they did and why they chose to do that instead. But yeah, they did kind of have it easy, where Bill's like, here's the keys, take them. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, like, seeing Bill's like whole bunker with a bunch of like, with all his guns and things and stuff. Like, I was like, damn, okay. I was like, okay, Bill, go off. It was such a nice episode. And then it's kind of the same where Joel's like, we're gonna go see my brother. He used to work with Fireflies, and then they go. And then the episode's over, and it ends with the song. It's called A Long, Long Time. And that was the episode title, which I thought was very interesting. I was like, how'd they do that? How'd they do that? I thought this episode was great. It was amazing. Like I said, I really liked that they were able to tell a story about two people who genuinely got to fall in love and live a whole life with each other for as long as they could. And even like live of old age. Because like I said, that's very rare when it comes to like zombie apocalypses and stuff. Like, just like for any like kind of apocalyptic situation, it's like people aren't that lucky, and they were lucky to do that. And I just thought it was a beautiful episode. Like, it's my favorite. Like, of the 3 episodes, it's probably my favorite. I only got to watch it once, but like I can't watch it again. I'm gonna be honest. I like break down and cry if I watched it again. So when I get the courage, I will watch it again. But until then, I thought it was great, and I can't wait to rewatch it properly. And without, you know, like live tweeting and like freaking out, because I do freak out with every episode I'm watching. I'm just like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen? Even if I played the video game, it's just great to see it in live action. And I thought that it's doing well so far, and I can't wait to see what else they do for the next part, because the next episode is the bandits episode. So if you play the game, it's a very crazy part of the video game, and it's also very scary, and it just shows like the realism of like how people turn during an apocalyptic situation. So I'm not excited, but I'm also excited, because then that means we get to meet Henry and Sam. So hopefully, I don't know if that's gonna happen this episode. I think it won't happen right away. I think it'll happen in the next episode after, because I heard this next episode is only 15 minutes, and then the next one after is gonna be like an hour. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be the Henry and Sam episode. So I'm very scared. But yeah, what did you guys think of the episode? Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. So don't forget to comment, don't forget to like this video if you like this review, like / the recap, whatever, all of it. But yeah, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I do reviews, I do live streams, I play video games, I'm a variety gamer, variety streamer. So if you guys are interested, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys all next Sunday for the next review. So goodbye everybody, have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is. Bye.